Hey guys, welcome to another video from Dota. Um, Today I'm going to be bringing you a video which is kind of a rare thing actually. I haven't been around for much lately. I've been inactive for quite a while, which is usually the case with me. Only this time it's a little bit worse than it usually is. I'm just going to resume the replay there. So this is obviously another Meepo replay, as most videos are on my channel. They're about Meepo. I really enjoy the hero. Most of my viewers seem to really like the hero as well. It's a hero there's a lot to learn about, and this video is different from a lot of my other videos, actually. Um, Not in the way it's played, not in my item build. Well, actually in the way it's played, but not in my item build and stuff like that. The reason it's different is because, um, again, I play at a decent level of play. Certain people will punish you if you try and go too greedy with Meepo, and people will punish you if you play the hero because people know how potent the hero can be. So this game is the reason I wanted to bring you this game is not because of the extreme amount of kills I get. It's not because of how out of hand I get. It's quite a stable game actually. It's because of the fact that I farm a lot more in the jungle. I utilize the jungle really well in this game, I think. And it's something I don't often do. When I play Meepo, I'm very aggressive with him, and I usually try and get as many kills as possible, sap as much XP as possible, get to a high level, and snowball really hard, get the early blink, get the early Aghanims, maybe even get an early hex, and from that just snowball into this unstoppable machine where I just annihilate the enemy team, and that usually is what happens. But that doesn't work in every game, and that sort of strategy you can't apply that to every single game. Sometimes you have to switch up how you play the hero depending on the enemy team, depending on what your team's doing. Maybe you have a jungler, maybe you don't. All of these things matter, and they change the way you play Meepo because you can take up the whole map, but you need to be considerate of other players on the map. This game, however, I do utilize our jungle and the enemy jungle and the lanes very well. It's not so spectacular in the fact, I die quite a few times in this game, but it's a good representation of how you should farm with Meepo. It's by no means perfect, guys. Absolutely by no means perfect. I'm not a professional player. I'm nowhere near it. I'm not, I play around. This game was played at 5.3k MMR, which is it's fairly decent, but it's not, it's not the likes you'll see like Wagamama and No-Tail playing at all. Like it's far from that. So don't take this as a perfect representation of how you should play Meepo, but I think it's a good representation of people maybe a bit lower MMR than me, maybe who are a bit newer than me, maybe who are trying out Meepo. It's a good way of showing, and it's like I could sit here and say, oh, you need to stack and stuff, but that's kind of complicated for people who are trying to learn heroes. So as you can see, I'm up against a lone druid here. So 1v1 lane, I do block the bear there, which is quite nice, quite nice move I did in the game. Blocking the lone druid means that he can't use the bear to pull the creep wave away from me and push his creep wave to my tower. If he did that, then every subsequent creep wave would push closer to him, and I'd be at a disadvantage there. So it's really important that I blocked the bear and stopped it from doing what he wanted to do with it. It was a bit of a misplay on his side, because if he'd have pulled it through the jungle, he would have been able to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to do much about it. But he misplayed, and I played a bit better. So that's how that went. Anyway, Lone Druid versus Meepo. This isn't a good lane for me. As you can see, I'm completely solo here. It's Pudge Slark on the off lane, which is a very pubby, kind of bad lane. We have a Techies as well, which, this is 5.3 KMR. Like, you get Techies everywhere, guys. It's not just like a pub scrub here and people pick it all the time. This Techies plays okay, but it's not great. So, unfortunately for me, I'm in a lane that don't have an advantage in at all. This Lone Druid should be able to beat me pretty handily. I have hit level 3 here, so I get my second Meepo, which really helps me out. Just going to scare this Lone Druid off, maybe get a bit of harass on him. I do miss micro the poof, which is really unfortunate, but I do get some good damage on the bear. My first Meepo is going to take quite a bit of damage there, but obviously it's my first Meepo. I can use the Tangos and the Salve on it, so it doesn't really matter. Meepo's really nice as a solo hero in the safe lane, mainly because he can stay in the lane. That's something I emphasize quite a lot, is less farming with your second Meepo, if you can't, and more just sort of using the second Meepo to always have a Meepo in lane, so you can't be harassed out. And he's not able to harass me out because of this fact. I do get some good damage on the bear there, which is really nice. I want to get that bear down as low as possible. His hero is pretty quick, so it's going to be hard for me to get on top of him and do some decent damage if he positions himself correctly, which he does, I think. But anyway, I'm CSing quite well actually here. I've managed to get 13 last hits at, well, 14 last hits at around 3 minutes, which is fine. Like that's perfectly fine CS, especially against a lone druid who should be outlasting me. Just gonna bring up the CS bar here. So yeah, I'm actually beating this lone druid quite a bit actually in terms of CS. I mean, obviously, you could say he's not the best lone druid. I mean, lone druid is a very hard hero. And Tegis is now in the lane. Tegis is going to push my lane with a mine. I'm not really appreciating that, but whatever. He's not sabotaging my lane too much. I have got level 4, which is important. But anyway, as you can see, the game's pretty slow so far. There's a kill, one kill gone either way. Techi's got a kill, and I think the other kill went the way of... Oh, actually no, they didn't get killed. Techi suicided. So yeah, currently we're a kill ahead. Gonna get some decent right click here on Lone Druid just to harass him out a bit. I don't think he has many. He doesn't have any regen really. So any damage I can get on him is good damage. Techis is gonna kind of play this sort of pseudo support role right now, which isn't really working for me. But I'm just gonna stay in the lane. Obviously, my second Meepo, you can see here on the map. If you can see my cursor, is in the base now, regenning up a little bit, which is good for me. I can then, I've bought a TP scroll because I want to get them both up to full mana and health. If I can get them both to full mana and health, then I can possibly kill him. What I could have done is poof the second Meepo in, maybe pull the first Meepo back so I had one in lane and not have used the TP scroll, but then they wouldn't all be at full mana. And Meepos being at full mana gives me a lot of kill potential and a lot of farm potential. Lone Druid here is going to get a root on Nature's Prophet, but isn't going to kill him. I do miss the next, it's only level 1. So I do give away that kill. I probably shouldn't have rotated out of the lane there once I knew Nature's Prophet was safe. The chance of me killing Lone Druid was pretty low, and I did miss a few last hits in lane, but that's okay. My last hits are still doing pretty decent. And now I'm at full mana with both my Meepos, I can just poof down the lane, push it to his tower, wait for the small camp to respawn, farm that, so get some decent farm. So currently, 25 last hits, about to hit 5 minutes. That's steady farm. That's steady safe lane farm. And considering I was in a 1v1 lane without support, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I've hit level 5 on my Meepo. I have a level 3 poof, so it's a lot quicker for me to farm the small camp with my second Meepo. If I'm trying to do that with a level 1 poof, it's going to take a lot longer and he's going to take a lot more damage. But now he's got the level 3 poof, he can do a lot more. Unfortunately, Lone Druid does go top and get does go mid and get a double kill on the Zeus and the Nature's Prophet, which is really unfortunate for me because I did kind of make him work for that farm bottom. He's not got much CS at all. I'm ahead of him, and he goes mid and gets the double kill. So that's really bad, actually. Lone Druid wasn't going to snowball, but now he is. Those 2 kills got him back in the game significantly. But I'm not worrying. I'm just going to keep farming this lane. I'm going to try and push this up with Nature's Prophet now. And yeah, we're just going to push this tower. We identify that Lone Druid's died, and we're going to play pretty ballsy here. We can't see any of the enemy heroes on the map, but we feel pretty safe, and we feel that we know that Doom is jungling, and I'm not really going to rotate for this. And even if they do, we're going to have quite a lot of warning if they do, because we can see the entirety of the tower. And we actually have some vision on our tier 2. So we're just going to put some nice damage on this tower now. I have activated the Ring of Basilius to get a little bit more extra armor for the creeps and that. And Lone Druid is going to TP in here, but we're going to get some decent damage on here. He's going to come in, try and get this deny. I'm going to pull the second Meepo back, get a net down, while Nature's Prophet tangles with the tower. Does manage to get the last shot on the tower and a sprout on the Lone Druid. Lone Druid's positioning not so great. I poof in the second Meepo and pick up the kill there. Bit of cockiness from Lone Druid there. I think he thought I completely backed off, and then Nature's Prophet got the sprout and was clicking harder than he thought. His hero got caught. His hero's nowhere near as tanky as he wants it to be, so he does get picked up there. Nature's Prophet probably could have killed him solo there, but I do poof in and pick up the kill, which is good for me. It brings me a lot closer to my Aghanims. And there's going to be a quick pause here. I think it just shrugs off immediately. No one's DC'd. Slank is now DC'd. I think this pause is pretty small. I will link a time stamp in the description below if you want to skip this short pause. It's unfortunate that in most of the games I play there is a pause, so I apologise for that, guys. But hopefully you can you'll be alright with the timestamp, and if you want to just stick around, that's cool. But anyway, like as you can see here, I'm just looking around the map. This is in player perspective again, so this cursor that's moving around, there's two cursors, the blue one's mine, but the other one is the player perspective cursor. So I'm just looking around the map while I have the time. I have treads here. I always go treads on Meepo. I'm not really a fan of Tranquil, but Slug is just reconnected, so this pause is going to go down. I have quite a decent amount of gold now. 47 last hits at 7 minutes is pretty decent. Like, that's really decent. That's about 10 more than you would expect to have if you were going at 5 per minute. And I'm going to be working on my Aghanims. I always do this. I like the early Aghanims. Some people go blink, but I really feel that the stat share that you get from Aghanims is very important, seeing as though you don't get any stat share until you get the Aghanims. So I'm going to be farming up the camps. I'm going to try and respect as much that Nature's Prophet is farming the camps as well. While the safe lane is pushed up to their tier 2, I'm going to start farming the jungle. I do leave a camp for Nature's Prophet that's a bit harder for me to take, that he can get a lot of gold off. And I am watching the timer as well, so I'm going to try and stack this camp actually. Yeah, I'm going to hang around with it for a little bit, and then I'm going to try and stack it. I'm going to pull it over here. The timing for stacking, guys, if you don't know, I would recommend looking up some videos for stacking. It'll do a much better job than I can do explaining in this game, but basically it's 53 for most camps. There's a couple of camps on each side where it's 55, and the more you stack up in a camp, the time will change that you have to stack it again at. So yeah, I stack that camp down there, but I'm not gonna try and do it now because it has some big chunky creeps in it that will kill me. So I'm just gonna go for this small camp here, small direwolf camp, and this Meepo's getting pretty low now. So I'm a little bit scared of maybe Slark coming to try and get me. So I'm just gonna poof that Meepo away and send him back to the base to regen up a little bit. You know, as I say, my farm's not incredible right now. It's 8 minutes. I'm getting halfway to my Aghanims now. This camp's pretty big. I ideally want 3 Meepos to take it, but I'm going to try and stack it again. Hopefully I do get the stack off. Yeah, I'm just going to try and stack it. If I can get a triple stack, this is really nice for me. And this is the key to really jungling as Meepo, is to do these stacks. The Nature's Prophet ult really helps me here, actually. I'm going to poof the second Meepo in. Nature's Prophet ult really helped because it didn't kill any of the creeps. It just put them all like onto half health, which is really nice for me. So now I can do this after having taken out that Ursa Warrior. That's the big damage dealer. So I'm going to stack poof this. This should get rid of all of them. And as you can see, my gold just shot up. I bought the point booster. And now I have enough for another item. I'm going to buy the Ogre Club to tank up a little bit more on my first Meepo. So as you can see there, hopefully you can see how powerful stacking with Meepo. And I should have really been stacking with the second Meepo. Lone Druid's going to get a bit far out here, but he does have phase boots on the bear, so the net does miss there. Nature's Prophet's going to run up and sprout the Lone Druid though. I do manage to get a secondary net. I'm going to get a stack poof on top of him here. I don't have another net. One of my Meepos does get tangled up, and the Disruptor ult goes down. It gets caught on the edge of the connected field, and unfortunately I do go down there. I don't know why Disruptor was here. It's a pretty big roam for him to make. They do pick up Disruptor there. Windrunner also died elsewhere on the map, so that's a pretty decent trade. It does slow me down quite a lot though, and I'm not very happy about that, but regardless, my team benefited from that quite a lot. I wasn't expecting Disruptor down there, and the route really sucked on that first Meepo, and I shouldn't have wasted that first net in the jungle when I knew I wasn't going to hit him, because he had phase boots. But anyway, we do pick up Lone Druid, which is an important kill. Keeping Lone Druid down is really nice. And I am still leading the CS chart right now. I might even be leading the net worth chart. Yeah, I'm leading the net worth chart, so I'm not too fussed about this. I'm still going to have a decent Aghanims timing. It is about to hit the stack timing, so hopefully you can see here that I do try and stack 2 camps. So I'm going to pull this one at 53 that way, and then I'm going to pull this one at 55 up. And hopefully this will stack. Obviously this is a mud golem camp, and that stacking a mud golem camp really isn't that great as Meepo because you can't poof them down. But it does. I hope this does represent that you can stack 2 camps at once. I'm gonna poof and then poof the first Meepo back in, and then I get another Meepo so I can start stack poofing again. This is really good for me. It's really giving me some good gold while the rest of my team farms the map. So I'm utilising the jungle a lot this game. That's kind of what I wanted to show you. Again, this is a stack. Not so great for me because I can't poof down the mud golems. But I do just pick up one of the centaurs there really quick. So I'm going to be running around with these two Meepos in the jungle while I send my first Meepo back to base. He's going to be my sort of regen Meepo to keep all my Meepos topped up. This is a strategy I use quite a lot. It's just to always have one near the base so I can just poof them back in, like this. Hopefully you can see I'm just like exchanging them from the base to keep them all topped up. The worst thing you can do is kind of leave your Meepos on low health. They're very susceptible to being ganked, and if a fight goes down, they're not very useful if they're on half health and no mana. So I like to keep them as topped up as possible. So my first Meepo's in the lane now. I'm going to be using it to farm the lane while I farm the jungle with my other Meepos. I'm a little bit apprehensive as to where the enemy team is. I'm a bit scared of that. I don't know where they are. That's why I netted the safe camp there. I thought Lone Druid might actually be doing the safe camp, but he's not. So yeah, I'm just going to be farming up. Now that the team fight is going down mid, and I'm actually not going to turn up there. I really want my Aghanims. And this is why I would usually turn up to fights like that, to try and deal some damage, but it's very risky, because if I die, it sets back my Aghanims. You know, if it doesn't go our way, it sets back my Aghanims. If it goes our way, it gets me closer to the Aghs, but ultimately, the risk is, in a lot of circumstances, not actually worth it. You just want your Aghanims at about 14-15 minutes if you can. So here I know where the enemy team is. I know a fight's just gone down mid, and I feel pretty confident I can get out if they gank me, unless they doom me, but I'm pretty sure Doom doesn't have a blink. Disruptor there is nearly going to pick up the courier, but I do haste it. I do see him drop a ward there, so I am apprehensive about that ward. I'm going to send the other two Meepos back to base now to regen them up a bit. And it's about to hit 14 minutes, and I'm about to get my Aghanims, so this is a decent timing Aghanims. I could have got it around 12 minutes if I'd have played a little bit more conservative, if I'd have stacked a little bit more. I could easily have got a 12-minute Aghanims, which is just really sweet timing. But again, by no means perfect play, it's just a decent representation of me jungling. I know they have a ward here, but I'm pretty confident with my teammates top that I'm safe to farm here. I do see Slark bottom. I do have vision on him there, so I'm pretty confident that I could deal with Slark. At this point, especially with 3 Meepos, I don't think he can kill me. So I'm just gonna use this first Meepo in the lane while I hide the other two. Then I'm gonna Slark boost them in and just pick up the wave like that. So I have finished up my Aghanims, just waiting for the courier. Gonna bring the Aghanims in. So again, guys, not a very eventful game in terms of kills, but obviously you can see I'm constantly doing things with my Meepo, so I'm not really sitting around much. I'm going to TP the first Meepo mid because I see them pushing, and I'm going to jungle with the other Meepos. I'm going to pick up my Aghanims on the first Meepo, that gives me number 4, and then I can poof number 4 to help out the other two jungling. They're going to try and push mid, but they see me here now, and they obviously think I'm mid while I'm jungling. So yeah, just farming a lane, farming the jungle. This is the nice thing, I guess, about having like Techies, Podge, Zeus, is they're not really going to be farming the jungle like Nature's Prophet is, but he's pushing a lot. He's playing the hero quite nicely, for me at least. A lot of Nature's Prophets might sit there and just farm. This Nature's Prophet is actually pushing the lanes and ratting a lot more, which is great for me. So there I'm going to pick up the camp that I stacked earlier. Podge does go through a blind hook and does actually pull a creep into a mine, which is quite funny. But I'm going to pick up that camp I stacked earlier, which is accelerate my farm. Now I have my Aghanims, I want to kind of put some pressure with my team and deal some pressure. So we are going to look to push this top tower, actually. But as you can see, my camera is not fixated on one location. I'm not constantly looking at my first Meepo. I'm looking around the map and I'm looking at my other Meepos. I'm looking at where I can be, what I can do, where I can farm. Constantly looking to farm. Looking at the timer, can I stack? When can I stack? When do the creeps respawn? Should I start farming them now? So I'm gonna just be farming up. These two Meepos are gonna sit around, but they're gonna poof bottom and start doing that camp there. So I'm constantly keeping my GPM going. I'm not really keeping them idle. Zeus does manage to pick up Slark in the jungle, which is huge for us. And I'm just gonna keep farming up. I usually use my main Meepo to do the lane farming because that's where I keep my focus. That's where I usually have my blink. And I'm going to get pretty close to my blink now. It's going to be about a 1630 blink, or 1620, which is pretty decent for me. I do identify a DD bottom, so I'm going to pick up the blink, then I'm going to go get the DD bottom, and I'm hopefully going to be doing a lot of damage with that, and I can pick up a kill. Because if you didn't know, if you have all your Meepos in range of the DD when you pick it up on the first, they all get double damage. So that's really huge for me. I can definitely get a kill. I'm going to quickly check Roshan here. and Ben prove him out because I do see Doom. I didn't pick up the DD because I wanted to get Doom straight away. Do manage to get a net on him. Gonna poof him all in. Gonna net him at the last second. I just pick up an easy kill right there. He didn't expect me to be there. Maybe he didn't see the ward. Maybe he didn't realize I had blink. I just got the blink fairy to me, so he didn't see it. So I don't pick up the DD. I just instantly wanted to get the blink. Slark isn't, Slark's morale seems to be pretty low right now. It's 15-14, but we have picked up a lot of towers, and in terms of gold, we are very far ahead. Even though I've died once and only have 2 kills, I'm level 15 at 17 minutes with an Aghanim and a blink, looking really good for me. I do pick up the DD on my Meepos here. I can't see any of the enemy team, so just gonna pick up some arcanes there, farm with the other ones because they're gonna farm very quickly with that DD. But we're gonna make a push for mid now with the double damage that I have. Maybe they won't see the other Meepos have it, so we're just gonna push mid. Do get a glimpse of Windrunner. I'm maybe gonna try and blink net her. Do blink net her. The net does go down. And I'm very far up here. Disruptor's here to help. The other Meepo didn't come in. Disruptor roll goes down, and I'm caught in the middle of it. Disruptor does get hit by Podge and does get picked up by Podge, and in the middle of all that space creation, we do pick up the tier 1 tower, which is really good for us. Doom is going to blink in and look for a Doom on Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet Sprout is a little bit off, and he does get picked up by a power shot. Going to prove the rest of the Meepos in, but one of them does get entangled up. And when I see that it gets entangled up, a couple of my Meepos getting low here right now. Slark does go into his shadow form, and I'm not going to get the stack poofs off. I almost got the stack poofs off to pick up Slark, but he does die for that. I die, but we pick up 4 of them. Nature's Prophet does do a buyback. Lone Druid is going to get picked up, and there is a Gem of True Sight on the ground, which is really good for us. It's not good for us to get that so early in the game when we have a techies. So currently, Zeus is sitting on a lot of kills right now, so Zeus is very far ahead in terms of kills. He has the Yules and the Gem. And I do die there, which sucks. Like I said, guys, I don't get super out of control in terms of kills. But as you can see, my net worth is still far away ahead of anyone on the map because of how I've utilised the jungle. Like, Zeus has 8 kills and mid farm, and I have 1,500 more net worth than him. And I have 2 deaths and 2 kills, so it's kind of like you can kind of see the power of stack jungling. It's so broken, to be honest. It's very powerful if you can get away with it. So there is like a triple stack here bottom with the range creeps, and that does allow me to get my 5th Meepo, which makes me so much stronger. I'm gonna pick up the Vlads here because I think I'm gonna really appreciate the armor and the ability to do Roshan. Really easily without getting ganked, because it is on their side of the map. They do manage to pick up a kill there on Techies because he is like mining in a bit of a risky location there, so I do see that, and that he basically baits them out to the point where I can see them back off. So I do back off there from farming there. I may be able to like 1v3, but 1v5 is a bit of a tall order right now. So I do finish up my Vlads. That's going to start coming on the courier right now. We do have a very aggressive ward, so I can see them. Nature's Prophet is going to be doing some ratting top, and our jungle is cleared, so I can't really be doing that right now. But I'm going to look to do Roshan now. Maybe I am. I can't remember if I do or not. But I'm going to at least start jungling in our jungle and looking with my first Meepo top. So I'm looking for kills for my first Meepo while jungling with my other 2, because I feel very safe in our jungle. Even if Slark jumps me, there's no chance he's going to kill me. If Slark jumps me with a Doom, maybe there's a chance he can kill me, but I should be able to see Doom with the wards and the lane presence we have. This guy is going to try and TP in, but I do get a blink out on him. Slark is up pretty far. One of my Meepos does get doomed, which is a really bad target for a Doom, but if they want to bring me down, they want to bring me down. I'm going to start moving it out of range, but this does mean I can't deny it. I do pick up the Doom in the process, but it does suck for me that I die again. A bit miss micro there. You saw me stop the Meepo. I knew I couldn't get it out. I knew I couldn't live with it because the Doom was going to take it down, and I wanted to try and move it closer to the other Meepos to try and get it to deny, but I didn't actually manage to do it. If you didn't know, you can actually deny Doom with your other Meepos, and it counts as a suicide. But anyway, Zeus is going to get caught out here, which is a pretty big kill for them, so they're getting some big pickoffs here. It was quite worth it for them to use a Doom on a Meepo. You never really want to Doom Meepo ever. Like, it's one of the worst Doom targets in the game. But they do pick up the kill because of it that time, so it wasn't that bad. It was a pretty decent Doom. Anyway, I am going to respawn pretty soon and get back into the fight. I've picked up my Vlads. My net worth is still fine. My GPM is still fine. My item timings are great. Well, not great, but they're good. And I'm going to be looking on the map at what I can do. I do spot out the Lone Druid top, and I really want to try and pick up this kill. It's a pretty big kill for me. If he continues to push up here, he'll be in big trouble with a stack poof on top of him. I do decide to go for the blind poof and see if I can get him, but he has backed off. That's good game sense from him, very good game sense. So if he doesn't get picked off there, but I do get some nice lane farm. So I'm going to be farming out that top lane here, which is pretty good for me. And Slark does get picked up mid by Techie Minds, which he's probably not happy about, so that sucks for him. Going to be doing some blind netting here, because I'm sensing that he's going to be farming out, but I'm very far out here. It's very risky for me. Do chuck a couple of nets and another blind net to see if he's going to go there. Bit of a prediction there. Nature nearly TPs and kill steals that, but I do pick up the kill, which is nice. You'll see my net micro is a little bit weird, but it's mainly just sort of because the cooldown's so short, I'll just spam them out and try and catch them once, and then I can continue the net chain with the cooldown. If I land one of the first three, I can continue the net chain enough to be able to pick them up. Nature's Prophet is going to get doomed out here, and Static Stormed does get picked up there. But they do pop 2 important ults there to kill him, which means I'm a lot safer to do something like Roshan now, if I do decide to. This is a criticism I could definitely say watching this back. I should have done Roshan so much earlier. Disruptor does get hooked up there. Quite a long respawn for Disruptor. Yeah, he's level 13, so a pretty long respawn there. He's been doing fairly well on his side. So, even though we're ahead, they are picking up kills, which is nice for them. But their attitude seems to be pretty bad to be being behind. I mean, we have a Techies and Podge. They don't really translate well to the late game at all. But I'm going to try and do this Roshan. As you can see, I'm throwing out nets. They're just to see if anyone's standing on the high ground, like waiting to jump in, which could end up killing me. Do pick up the Aegis. All my Meepos are on pretty decent health because of the Vlads. I'm level 20. And I'm going to be going for a Cypher Vice now. You'll see me do this pretty much all the time nowadays, is go for the Cypher Vice. Especially when you're ahead. It just gives you silly amounts of kill potential. Blink, Hex, Dead. Then you have all your nets. You can just keep them in one location. Especially if I go on Doom. Blink on Doom, Hex him. I can kill him before he's able to get out of the Hex. That's the beauty of Meepo. You can kill them before they come out of Hex form, which is really good for heroes like Doom. Take It is going to get picked up here, but I'm going to try and get a blink net. Slark is pretty far up, but I don't think we're going to be able to catch him. I do chuck a couple more nets to try and predict where he's going to go, but we don't manage to get him. We do have this ward here though, so I can see Lone Druid. I'm going to blink, but I'm going to mess up my poofs. I did the poofs way too early. This is really bad for me. But Disruptor is going to get hooked up and die. Do manage to pick up the Lone Druid. And Entangle does go down on one of my Meepos, and Slark does manage to go on it. I'm going to pull it away, but it's still in range of the Windrun. Bit of miss micro from me there, but I do get some good damage down. And anyway, I have the Aegis, so it doesn't really die. Windrun thinks she's safe, but I'm closing in on her. Going to try and do some prediction nets. She is looking to dodge them, and she's doing a pretty decent job of it, but the prediction nets are going to land. She goes a bit too close to the base, stack poof, and she's down. She's going to buy back now, but I'm going to again throw more nets. They're not so on target, but she's doing a good job of dodging them. I do manage to land one there, and it's going to do a bit of damage to her. As soon as she comes out of it, I do chuck another net, keeping the nets down. Gonna start taking her down. I did pick her up. That's a dive back on Winrow, which is pretty bad for her. Anyway, that brings me at my Cypher Vice now. So I have a 25-minute Cypher Vice, which is pretty decent. So yeah, we're really far ahead right now. This is a short game to be able to get ranked at this point. So yeah, I've sort of snowballed while allowing my team to have XP from kills. I've utilized the entirety of the jungle and achieved this amount of GPM with not really getting a stupid amount of kills and sapping a lot of team XP. So I'm going to walk into the Disruptor ult to try and pick up the Slark. I'm going to get a net on Lone Druid. A level death does bring down one of my Meepos real low. When I'm going to move him out, he does get glimpsed back in, so that was really greedy from me. Bad play from me. Bad play indeed. But I do have Hex on my on Meepo now, so that's fine. Respawn time isn't crazy because of the reduction on my ultimate. Divided we stand. It's just 10, 20, 30, which is really nice. So yeah, that does help me as well. We do get the bottom racks, which is really good for us. Gives us so much map control. We've had so much map control this entire day. Entire game, I mean. So they are going to start pushing mid, which is quite ballsy. There's only 2 of the enemy team up right now, so this is fine. But anyway, like, I don't play great this game. Like, I'm not happy with the way I played this game. Like you could see there, my position was bad. I was way too greedy. Nature's Prophet is going to get doomed up, and he is going to go down, which is pretty risky for him to be there. But Doom is going to get picked up by a miner, so this isn't great for them. I mean, this game got pretty much out of control, really. Slark didn't get a whole lot, and they didn't play that great. The Windrunner played nicely, and the Disruptor played very well with his rotations. But all in all, they didn't play great. But yeah, like I said, this game, I just wanted to sort of bring it to you, to show you how I utilize the jungle, and it's a playstyle I don't really do a lot. It's very different for me to farm the jungle a lot and sort of leave the lanes and leave the kills to my team. So something you have to be kind of careful with Meepo is not to sap so much that your team doesn't get a lot at all. You could definitely do that. You can definitely take so much that your team is actually at a disadvantage because of how much you've taken, especially in terms of XP. Not so much in gold, but more so in terms of XP. But yeah, Zeus is going to get caught out here by Slark, which is another pretty big kill, but I'm in here. I do put the Hex down on Slark, which is a bit unnecessary, but I get it anyway to stop him from maybe shadow forming or whatever. I did pick up a double kill there. Going to land a net on the TPing and Doom. Going to try and chain net him up here. Going to poof the first Meepo in. He is going to BKB for this, which is really good. He's going to blink out, but I'm not done yet. He goes in for the consume, which is really greedy of him. He doesn't really realize our reach. And I'm going to be chucking out nets here because I know his BKB is timing down soon. I'm going to chuck a side net on Winra because I'm going to go for her next. She's trying to deal damage, but it's not doing a whole lot of damage. Disruptor is going to TP in here, try and deal with me. The low Meepo does get hooked out, which is really fortunate for me. My Hex time's off again. Doom does bye bye, but he gets hexed up. I'm going to poof on the way down from that Yules. I do get a double net there. Winra does get hooked. Going to poof in the other Meepos, pick up Disruptor there. And Windrunner's pretty much tying up with Nature's Prophet there, and doesn't manage to TP out. So yeah, pretty big stomp, guys. Not the most entertaining game, and I'm sorry for that. Especially when I'm coming back. You know, maybe you expect an amazing game. There is another game where I get like 38 kills, but that's a pretty big stomp. But this is, I really wanted to bring you this to sort of show you how I think people should jungle Meepo, and you know, as a base representation of that. Again, by absolutely no means a perfect or even good representation of jungling Meepo. It's just an idea around jungling Meepo, how you should maybe do it. But anyway, we're going to be finishing up the game here right now. It's 43 and 30. The end score for me is 13, 4 and 6. I think I managed to maybe pick up a fountain dive kill here. Yeah, Snark's going to get caught out. He's got a BKB, but the poof's going to come in and I'm going to take him down for 14, 4 and 6. Going to dive the tower here, but you can see I just do a little bit of redirect onto techies and dust Yules up. So we're pretty much going to finish the game here. So that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, guys. I know it's a bit of a short game. Not that entertaining, but hopefully you took something from this and learned from it. I really enjoy it when I read the comments and people say, oh, this really helped me, thanks to this, I'm trying out Meepo, it's really helpful. That's really good. That's what I want to try and achieve. I want to get more people into Meepo. So there, the end score, 810 GPM, 1088 XP per minute, is really nice considering I actually did that without being a detriment to my team's GPM and XPM. You see there, Zeus got perfectly fine XPM. Everyone was a decent level. So that's really good for me. And that's the end of the replay. Anyway, I'm going to be bringing out more videos. Hopefully you like this. If you liked this, please remember to just like it and share it. If you disliked it, please tell me why. I'd like to know what you didn't like about the game. That would be really helpful for me. Anyway, thanks guys. Look out for more videos and I'll see you later.